And next we have Seaneen, and and she's written a blog, which she's going to read some of, which is about being manic depressive. That's right. Yeah. Off you go.
Height discrimination. Well, this is from the Mental Handbook, which you would find not anywhere in Amazon. Imagine, if you need to imagine, that you are depressed. You've reached that wonderful crossroads in your life where the only choices are to get professional help or to decapitate yourself with a George Foreman grill. So you booked yourself a psychiatric appointment. You have willingly thrown yourself before God to be judged by his benevolence. You will be worthy or unworthy of his help. And you might worry that he'll cast you back into your hell and say you are a time-wasting fraud. In that case, here is a handy guide on how to get the most out of your psychiatric appointment. The first rule is, look like shit. Everybody knows that if you're really unhappy, you can't take a brush to your hair. Leave the drool hanging from your chin, and if you don't look like you've been dragged through a hedge backwards, then enlist the help of your nearest mentalist and ask them to do it for you. If you have trouble finding one, just shout, "Jimmy!" and wave a tenner above your head, and one of them will come off a bench and give you a hand. And if you've never had a drunken tramp throw up on you, I would suggest you do so now. You might want to tart yourself up a bit for the sake of politeness, but don't. Because if you don't look terrible, then you don't feel terrible. Rule number 2 is, be not afraid. Remember that like dogs, psychiatrists smell fear. And your crotch, but don't worry. He's a bit strung up. If they see you're afraid, they'll pounce and they'll say, "Do I make you nervous?" In that case, just reply, "No, do I make you nervous, Clarice?" for some extra impact. Rule number 3 is turn on the waterworks. Because depression makes you cry, and if you're not depressed, then you don't cry, and if you don't cry, then you're not depressed. If you sit in front of a psychiatrist like a robot, just think of the fact that your whole family voted Conservative. If that doesn't work, then punch yourself full in the face. Not only will it make you cry, it will make you look mental, which is double fun. And you can punch a psychiatrist in the face too, but that is just for a laugh. Rule number 4 is, you're only suicidal if you have a plan. One of the old psychiatric tricks is to ask if you have a plan to commit suicide. A vague, "I don't know," isn't going to cut it. You have to really elaborate and be really detailed and hardcore. You should tell them you're going to headbutt a train unconscious, that you're going to jump out of a plane equipped with a parachute composed entirely of the first 100 drafts of your suicide note. And while he's thinking that one over, you should get a rusty butter knife and get your intestines out. And he'll take you seriously then. Rule number 5, which everyone here fails at, is don't joke! Never try to be funny around a psychiatrist. It's really serious business. Mental people don't have a sense of humour. They have bad hair and a funny smell, but they don't have a sense of humour. Depressed people can't laugh and they can't smile. So don't walk in and say, "Can we just cut out the middleman? May I talk to the undertaker, please?" He will stare at you forever. And also don't try to be smart, because that's just as bad as being funny. Rule number 6 is bring someone with you, but just don't refer to him as my friend Napoleon Bonaparte. And rule number 7 is prepare for bugger all to happen. After you've got your guts out in front of a psychiatrist, quite literally, if you followed rule number 4, you may be expecting him to stand up and say, "Child, I can heal you," while the light comes gloriously behind him and the Hallelujah chorus rain down upon him. What's more likely to happen is that he will stand up, probably clear sort of it, shake your hand and say, "I'll see you in a month," or maybe 6. And that's your lot.